Welcome to Fireteam Chat. Thank you so much for joining us today. Joining me today is CJ Gibson.
What's up?
Fran Mirabella.
Hey, Guardians.
And Sean Finnegan.
Hello, everyone.
And on today's show, we're going to be discussing faction rallies. We're going to be discussing some stuff we'd like to see improve. But first, we're going to hear from Naomi with a word from our sponsors. Take it away, Naomi.
Hey guys, Star Trek is returning 50 years after it first premiered with Star Trek Discovery. IGN has teamed up with CBS All Access to give away 10 $25 CBS All Access gift cards, where you can watch the premiere for Star Trek Discovery on September 24th at 8:30, 7:30 Central. Just go to go.ign.com/fireteamgiveaway to enter. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
The big Destiny 2 news this week is all about faction rallies. They are beginning in Destiny 2 on September 26th at 2 a.m. and will allow you to pledge to one faction per character once you hit level 20. Once pledged, you can do public events, lost sectors, strikes, the raid, or the Crucible to earn tokens for loot. So why would you do this? Well, at the end of the week, only one faction can be declared victorious and will offer a unique, powerful weapon. Those weapons are promised to be a powerful piece of gear in an effort to entice players to choose a side, according to senior designer Tim Williams. The event will last until 2 a.m. Pacific on October 3rd, and the winner will be determined at 10 a.m. Pacific, aka the time my faction, Dead Orbit, will be crowned victorious. Now, if the weapon is at a faction you didn't choose, you can still get it for 50,000 Glimmer, but if your faction wins, you can purchase it for only 1,000 Glimmer. That's a hefty discount. We'll know more in just a few days when we can play for ourselves. So, guys, which faction are you going to pledge to?
Dead
CJ?
Orbit.
Orbit?
Of course. There's no other option.
There is another
No,
option.
there's not.
In fact, there are two other options.
Not really. Not really.
Dead Orbit, New Monarchy,
Technicality.
and that other one, Future War Call.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I generally, all of Destiny 1 went New Monarchy, but I think I have to suck it up and go Dead Orbit this time.
Yeah.
All of my gear right now is like black and white, so I got to keep with the color scheme.
But you can buy that from anyone. So the way I'm looking at it is I am loyal to Rock Shalau and Dead Orbit, and Deej would be upset as well if I didn't say that. However, Pulse Rifleman is coming from Future War Cult this week, so for the discount, I might go FWC, and then I'll buy my other stuff from the other folks. But also,
Traitor.
Rock Shalau is going to be mad at me, and Deej.
You could
I don't know
run
what to do.
two characters. You can run your traitor character and then the real one.
Right. But I don't know. Were we going to talk about the specific weapons at all, Destin?
Yeah, so there are 3 different weapon types, and do you know them off the top of your head?
Yeah, it was Future War Cult has the Pulse Rifle, Scout Rifles with Dead Orbit, and then it's a sidearm with Executor Hideo. And,
So to me, I mean, like, the Scout is what everybody's going to want. They want a replacement for Mida.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why would you ever
why would you
replace-
replace it?
Because then you can
Just
have
in case.
You can have an exotic in a
slot.
different slot.
Yeah.
That assumes that it's like provides all that Mida does, which I think like third eye, mobility, I don't know. But
A
I'm
unique,
hoping
powerful weapon.
But what I'm hoping is that when we log in, before you choose, you can look at the weapon perks. I think
Yeah.
that will make it sort of obvious that you can choose. But
Okay,
otherwise save up 199,999 Glimmer. You'll be pretty close to being able to buy everything.
Yeah.
What are the chances of this scout rifle from Dead Orbit being hung jury 2.0?
That's a good point.
Oh.
Maybe. Yeah.
It doesn't
Because-
look, doesn't
I
look
don't
like it.
For all you new Guardians out there, hung jury for a long time was the best scout
The
rifle
one.
in the game.
Yeah. What were the initial perks? Like Firefly and something else, but it was good.
It had triple tap,
oh, yeah.
Firefly,
Such a
great
good-
stability range,
Such a good PvE
yeah,
scout.
and field scout.
It doesn't look like it at all, so I wouldn't. It's hard to speculate.
And we have Mida.
Just in general, I have to say all the different gear sets look really good across the board.
They do.
yeah.
Before it was like, oh, do you want the red, white, and blue and yellow
Yeah.
Future War Call?
Yeah.
Not the
Do you want
greatest.
the red and white New Monarchy?
but
or
Dead
do you
Orbit
want
looks-
the black and white.
Yeah, but Dead Orbit for that reason, it's the coolest looking one of
Yeah.
all time. So even the other ones, it's neat aesthetically, but I don't know, it looks too regal. New
I mean,
Monarchy.
I was
Future
a big
War
fan
Cult.
of the Future War Cult, like scrolling marquee across like their
Yes,
helms.
there's a
like,
few neat
FWC,
traits,
it's like,
but no, it's too flashy.
like you're out of
Like,
Tron.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
super cool.
Everything's
Orbit.
much more subtle. I like it a lot more
Yeah.
for that.
It's weird though with the shaders. I assume you can just shade everything out. So it's almost
Yeah.
like it's
That's cool.
more about the. For me, I like kind of look at the insignias and little touches like you're mentioning. Then you might want to shade it out in a non whatever Future War called or Dead Orbit.
I use
not
all
account
my-
It's too
wide,
bright
though,
for
so-
you, Fran.
Yeah.
I figured you'd be all over that.
Like, in other words, you
you're
can
like
still-
the tower casual guy, and
No, there's my point. You can still be like, dude, Future War Cult has like the most streamlined like tower casuals. So I'm gonna go with them, and I don't like the color, so I'm just gonna put monochrome on it or whatever.
yeah. Yeah, because the looks are cool. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, now when you can customize, yeah, it might
I
be
like
a little
that.
bit easier.
You know?
Yeah.
By the way, we never really got to like go back on Shadergate. Is it a thing?
I didn't think it was that big.
I never.
Me either.
Yeah.
I never really understood it, and I said I'll wait. And then
Well,
now I'm
because
like, I'm
people
fine.
were climbing, right? And they wanted to make their stuff look good. But I'm like, you're gonna have that for like an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You were shading a blue, and then it was like gone. and
No,
you're
but I
like,
mean,
well,
I
yeah,
do think
don't
that
do
there was some validity in being concerned about how those shaders might work as consumables when previously they weren't. But I think where we all landed was it depends on how many consumables you end up getting. And right now it seems like I don't
Yeah.
really have like a shortage of the ones.
Yeah, I have
that
enough for like a raid set of shaders.
Well, yeah, like one trials run last week gave me a bunch of shaders for all the
Yeah.
gear I needed. Between like, there's two different versions of the the trial shader. There's
Yeah.
the flawless one, and then there's the regular one. Both of them look good. I did all my weapons and all of my gear, and I'm like, and I have a couple.
That's just one
extras,
run.
And I just did one run. Yeah.
I think it's nicely balanced so far that I've seen between wanting to conquest to get something maybe you got before, that it's not like you have 99 of them, because I think that breaks the inventory. Eventually that will
That's the
happen.
glimmer
But right
problem.
now, meaning there are a few where I'm like, ooh, I could use a few more golden trace because I like
Yeah.
that.
Uh,
But
still the same stuff I mentioned before. It doesn't tell you how to get the ones that you want.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
random.
Like it's not labeled clearly.
Like, for
and
instance, I
being able to
wanted-
buy them's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
wanted
go, yeah.
more.
Yeah,
Or
PlayStation
once
Store, and then
once
you
you
get silver.
discover them, you should be able to continuously buy them from at least some vendor. Like I got a couple monochromatic ones from completing the raid, used them immediately, haven't been able to get any since. Like just kind of waiting for more to pop up when I get a bright engram drop or something.
Or if you break them down, they go back into your consumable inventory.
that would be nice.
You will be able to buy I was double checking, the faction shaders at least.
Yeah.
For like regular currency, not like silver. I mean, technically, bright engrams, you can buy shaders every week. You get bright
Yeah,
engrams,
you
you
can
get
buy
bright
those
dust.
with regular currency too.
Yeah.
I've not spent
U.S.
takes-
dollars.
No,
I've not spent a dime.
I'm
No,
saying
me
you
either. I
can
haven't
buy
spent anything either.
You can buy stuff from
Using
tests
Bright.
using bright. There's enough to buy like a shader here.
But I like being able to customize your individual pieces of armor. To me, it's like that was the trade-off. So I get that people were upset that it's not like D1, but that was the issue. To me, it's like, oh, it's just because it was like this before in
Yeah,
D1.
I like it, and actually the
I do too.
execution, the art,
Yeah,
is really good.
great.
Some of these shaders and the new,
Really good.
the new graphic effects they've added, rendering engine stuff. Like some of the stuff looks like awesome. I'm really happy with it.
It's great.
I've been a little fatigued by the regular outrage about things.
Yeah, there's a new
I'm like,
outrage daily.
Okay, I understand why you're a little bit concerned about this, but I'm like, do you think you might be making it a little
There
bit
was
bigger deal?
there was a very highly upvoted thread from a new Guardian in the subreddit that was like,
Snack
I
Dad.
love how overnight it turned from really a lot of positivity to a bunch of negativity.
Bungie's not your snack dad. That a bunch of Bungie employees got shirts that said snack dad on
Did
them.
they really?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was very, very good.
People are just overly excited. We had that before launch, if you remember. We reported on some stuff, and everybody like flipped out. And,
I
like
get it. Like when you're really invested in a game, you really like it. You want it to be as good as
Yeah.
you can be. So little things kind of irk you.
But
I mean,
that-
little things irk me.
But that was
just
the
a
best.
few little
That
We're actually going to talk about
You guys don't
improvements.
understand. In World of Warcraft,
yeah, stop.
There it is.
Cut.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
3 minutes in.
Let's actually talk about some of the other items that we would like to see improved while we're on the topic of shaders. Sean, you brought up wanting to discuss PvP, so we'll start there.
Yeah, so I've been spending a lot of time in competitive, just prepping for trials and stuff. But I'm primarily a solo queuer, and man, the solo queue experience in competitive, it can be really rough.
Your
It's
teammates
different.
bail.
Yeah, so numerous times, like I played maybe 12 or 15 matches of competitive last night, and I would say maybe 60% of them, like over half of them, ended up with either my team down players or the other team down players.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, and it's
Literally
'cause-
for the review, I'm like, oh, I need capture of my team leaving. I hopped in competitive. The first match, half my
yeah,
team
like
left.
literally what
Yeah.
happens is like you jump in and it's 4v4 and instantly your team loses the first round, or like you lose even just 4 lives or so if it's survival or whatever.
And it's because they're like not looking for supremacy or they don't want survival.
Well, no. I'm talking about countdown, because in competitive it's only countdown and survival. But either one of those modes, there's like people seemingly
Just
give
get
up
demoralized.
immediately.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
think,
like,
why are they leaving?
I'm not-
they're leaving after playing.
Well,
for
they've
Yeah.
they've
They
declared
lose a round.
Yeah, they
and they're
lose
like,
a
I'm
round,
not
or
gonna
they
waste a
or your
half an hour
team
on it.
loses 4 lives, and it's obvious the other team's going to win
Yeah.
that round.
And it doesn't auto-populate anybody back into the game.
Instead of trying to win or communicate with your team to better fight the next round, they just say, well, it's a lost cause. I'm going to bail on this. Yeah. And the problem is there's no repercussion for that. So I think like in Halo 5, if you leave the match early, like, and I'm not talking about like an involuntary disconnect because of network issues or something. I'm talking about like you purposely click out of the match. If you do that a number of times within, I don't know, let's call it an hour or 2 hours, whatever Bungie deems fair, there should be some sort of competitive temporary ban.
Like a timeout.
Yeah.
Now, they did this before, you said. They did it with Reach?
Reach did it.
Well, Halo 5 too is like if you bail on too many matches, one, you don't get any experience or rewards from those matches.
Yeah.
Two, if you do it too many times, you actually get like a day-long ban.
I think you'd have to set that so high, though, that it wasn't annoying, that actually it still wouldn't solve the problem. Like, you'd have people who were just hopping in to play 4 or 5 matches, and they'd still do it. And what I was getting at, I think it's a mode problem. I think you just run into, like, where people, and also skill-based matchmaking and all that, but I think you need a mode matched the right way, going back to, I mean, we had it in Destiny 1 to some extent. Like, we didn't have as much of this issue. Blending the modes into these two things, I think, is causing this issue.
But you didn't have the issue because there was no other game where that was competitive that didn't allow, like, people to auto-populate the game after.
So exactly, that's the thing, right? Is people will bail in the first round or in the first the first couple of lives in survival, and then you're literally stuck there the whole rest of the match, 4v2, or you know, and
you should bail, man.
I don't bail. Sean Finnegan does not bail.
I don't bail.
There was the match that I played, like I actually played it through to completion, and the other team was like, you know, doing a bunch of emotes and stuff, to be positive, actually. Yeah. Because they're like, hey, thanks for staying, even though we know half the team bailed.
Well, so that was the other thing is like I stayed in a match 1v4.
Yeah.
And I was like, there was only one player on that other team who was good, but like they were all messaging me on Xbox being like, why don't you leave, man? It's a waste of your time. And I was like, no, man.
And that's it. It does suck because it does become a waste of your time because you're probably not going to win a 1v4, especially in Destiny 2.
Shots, man.
But I will say that the competitive and survival countdown within the context of being not trialsified, like just right now, should be like just auto-populate if people drop out. Like I don't understand why it's not.
Like with strikes, people will come in. You know, that's kind of nice. But like I've been bailed on in strikes also. No. It's a plus and a minus, right? The ease of jumping around is great. Yeah. But it also reduces the amount of barriers for you just leaving your team.
Well, also like in strikes, it's nice that it auto-populates, but two, if it doesn't auto-populate, you can still finish a strike by yourself. Like it's not difficult. In PvP, like you're almost certainly gonna lose if it's 4v1 or 4v2. Yeah. And it's an unpleasant time. Like you're supposed to be having a competitive match. You can't be competitive if you're down.
Yeah. It does auto-populate though. It just takes a while.
No. The competitive doesn't.
Oh, competitive does.
The competitive playlist doesn't.
Well, I've had backfills. I didn't realize it wasn't happening at all in competitive.
It's like when you lose somebody in trials, you're done.
Are you sure Countdown?
They can't
You're
join.
100% sure Countdown can't backfill.
Yeah.
Well, that's silly. I don't know why it wouldn't. That's so weird because I thought I saw that it happened there. But
I don't know.
One, it should do that. But you know what they should do is that if you back out, you should be put into an immediate chance to like auto-populate another PvP match.
The same
so
game.
It creates a trapdoor chance that if you try to back out, it pops you in another match.
What I'm saying
if
is
your
like
game crashes or you get kicked out, you actually have a chance to get back into the same match.
Yeah, actually, and a lot of games do that. It's like there's
a
window of like 120 seconds or 180 seconds where 3 minutes, 2 minutes to get back into the match you were disconnected from if it was involuntary. But that's not what I'm talking about. I understand there are network issues and stuff. I'm talking about if you voluntarily quit or throw the match. That was the other thing is there were some matches where we were very obviously going to lose because the other team was outplaying us. But instead of leaving, people just go jump off the edge and waste the lives so that no one else can play on your team. And that's even more frustrating. So people who are doing that or people who are voluntarily leaving matches early, I think there should be some sort of penalty. Now, I don't know what that penalty is, but in Halo it is if you leave X amount of matches within a certain period of time, you get a little timeout.
Yeah. Bungie would say that you should report them. Make sure that you report players.
So that's the thing is like in the first guess what? In the first Destiny, you could immediately go to the scoreboard and click an in-game reporting function for whatever it was, bad connection,
now
issues.
You gotta go over the roster.
There's no actual way to do it if they've left the game. because immediately after they leave the game, you can't find those person's names again.
Right.
Because the
Oh, yeah.
scoreboards
Yeah,
have
true.
been
Not
so
there anymore.
minimalistic, and there's no stats or
Actually,
way
that
of
would help a
access.
ton. That would actually be. I
You
like
can still
that
report
idea.
them over Xbox Live if
But
you
you need
had
to
their
find their
username.
game.
No, yeah, nobody's
Yeah.
gonna do that. You're in the middle of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
crazy.
that idea though. That if there was a remnant left behind of like lost players, you had that quick chance to report them.
Yeah.
But and like even if you're just reporting they left, that would give Bungie the currency to be like, this person's leaving all the time.
Yeah, or like in Halo, when you go to the post game Carnage report,
You
even
see
if
everybody.
You could select
Yeah,
the people
even-
that were in the game.
yeah, even if the people left, it'll still show their name on the scoreboard along with their stats, but it'll just be grayed out.
Yeah.
Let's
It
talk
was-
about.
yeah.
Sorry, let's talk about another major topic this week before we go on to 2 modes that I'd like to see improved. Definitely, let's talk about Nightfall. So the Nightfall this week, the 300 is bugged. Apparently, there's an enemy that spawns in the wall. They're not going to be able to patch it for reset, and it's also not that fun.
Really?
This
yeah.
no.
I never really liked.
I mean,
that
sorry, this week. you mean.
strike.
Yeah, this particular
This week.
strike. Yeah.
But are you talking because the boss is really difficult?
the boss is annoying.
It's a little
Yeah,
annoying.
it
Little
is.
bit.
I don't. Out of all the strikes, this one was one that I particularly don't
Yeah,
like.
I really don't. I did not like
I
this
like the
one.
strike right up until the boss.
At the end,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like the boss,
Yeah.
but I think it's
The boss,
I think it's very related to the modifiers. Like your shield regen is totally a disaster.
Yeah.
and then you don't get any heavy ammo respawn at all from anything, and so it becomes very unfun.
Yeah.
to play it that way.
However, I wouldn't say it's like unbeatable. Like I went in there last
No,
night
I did
and
it.
I just cruised through it with 2 of my friends.
Yeah.
You had a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I was playing with Alexio and Zach. They're new into Destiny 2. They're fairly new into just the universe itself. So just, getting heavy, when to pop super to generate orbs, all those things play into a huge deal. They weren't able to really get that, hey, wait till, if you're dead, I can't get your orbs. Or if I'm dead, you can't get my orbs, and vice versa. So, we made it right up until the final boss, and I just couldn't finish them off. So, still fun, though, right? Like the mechanics I like,
the final boss.
No, the mechanics of leading up to it. Like
Up to it's fun.
Yeah, like killing things to get a certain amount more time added, collecting the light pools and stuff like that. Like I like these better than, hey, guess what? You lost in a Nightfall, back to orbit.
Yeah.
Like and stuff that Destiny did in year 1.
Yeah, I'm fine with the Nightfall mechanics. It's this week.
Right.
And then the modifiers. I really think it's the modifiers. I think if you had heavy at that last boss and your shield regen, so you didn't keep dying all the time, you'd be fine.
There's a
like
lot of
you'd wait
times-
for him to reappear and you'd all attack. But you can't because you have no shields and you have no heavy.
But
You're like,
it's
I don't even know what to do.
But it's a challenge though. Like I like it. Like it's not unbeatable and it's not,
It's definitely not unbeatable.
the
Yeah.
challenge is
Annoying.
for it to be fun.
well,
Yeah. That's the challenge of the last boss.
okay, all right.
I had fun in the encounter up until the end there, and it's just like you can't see him because they made invisible enemies actually more difficult to see. And then next thing you know, he's just punching you in the back of the head. And you're
That's
dead.
exactly it. Is like so many times they're like the boss is attacking you. And I'm like, oh what? Like,
You got to put on that warlock
It's
eye of
hard.
another world, by the way.
I'm going to predict the
That's
comment
high value
section.
targets. It helps see them, by
The
the way.
comment sections right now are going to be like, get good, Fireteam chat. It's
Hey,
going to
we-
be.
I did it.
No,
Yeah,
I
we
know.
did it.
But I think it's one of those things where, to me, it's nice. Like Taniks and that whole Black Spindle mission, to me, that's what we're playing off of each time. And I like this. I like that each week there's been something a little bit different. So, from that standpoint, it's been
I
good.
like the additional challenges. I actually really love the new Nightfalls.
Yeah.
Beyond how I feel about this particular strike, not one of my favorites, I still like that they're challenging.
I do
Yes.
too. And what I particularly like is that they're challenging and the challenge justifies the reward. Like I am one of these people who call me an elitist, but I don't think that if you can't do the Nightfall, that you deserve the gear that the Nightfall rewards you. Just like how if you can't go flawless, you don't deserve to get flawless gear. It's not about locking people out. It's about learning to play better.
Unless it's in your clan, Engram, and you just
yeah,
go and pick it up.
Yeah.
Which again,
By the way,
mechanic
you're
I'm
welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Me
again,
too.
not a mechanic that I really like. Like yesterday, I walked in and they were like, "You have new clan rewards. Go see."
'Cause I did the
Hawthorne."
raid.
Was that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I walked up. Thank you. I got the new rocket launcher. So,
There you go.
I keep getting Conspirator every week.
dude. So the only for
three
I got the sword.
I got 4 weapons from the raid.
Yeah.
They're all that pulse rifle inaugural address.
Yeah.
I'm just like, whatever. But yeah, I don't know if I'm on board with that mechanic yet.
I actually,
It's
yeah,
out.
I did.
They drop at level 10, so
Oh, I
I'm,
know,
Yeah, but
it's
this is the
just
weapon. I
to
have it.
infuse
I have
Yeah.
plenty to
It's still the
infuse.
weapon.
Yeah.
I actually agree. Like maybe it's a topic for another time. I get why they're trying to really incentivize you to get into clans so we can solve this guided game problems. So I appreciate that. I actually don't like that I got the sword. Like, it's great to have it. I didn't
But
earn
you didn't earn it.
I didn't earn it at all. And like, I'm like, oh,
earned it.
I'll just make it 305 and like, it's brilliant. But I didn't, it actually does take away that moment. Like I've less to earn.
We have to remember, we have a huge clan.
Yeah.
That actually, like, this is really interesting. Like, if Sean completes raid on Xbox, I get credit on PlayStation for the raid completion because we're all in the same clan.
I think the new
really
players
like
are
that.
not upset though. Like, we are all very much veterans going, hey, I want that moment of the drop. It's neat when
But I
it
don't want
falls
it to
into
take
the screen.
forever.
Well, yeah, I know.
That's what I'm saying. I want the best of both worlds. I get
suppose.
it. It does take away some of the magic.
New people, I think that, but I've said this to other people who are just getting into it. The fact that you're not in the post screen and you see it roll down like a slot machine, there's a bunch of things that take away that magic drop moment.
Everyone's saying Cold Heart is the best raid weapon, by the way. I'm like, I'm going to go with my raid loadout, and we'll see who does more DPS. Top DPS on the team still. So Cold Heart is
Shut up,
not
the last boss.
Cold Heart is not the only loadout you can go in with.
I'm not
No,
saying it's the
but
only
it's
one.
brilliant.
But
What,
I
you use
use
2
Cold
autos?
Heart. I use Cold Heart on the final boss, and it is.
Oh, it's awesome.
I'm not
Let me
saying
guess.
I'm not saying it's
Use-
bad at all. I'm just saying I use dual ARs and I
Yeah,
consistently
dual
do
ARs.
more DPS
Really? Two
than
ARs?
anybody with Cold
Oh, yeah.
Heart. Yeah.
What's
2
your heavy?
ARs with War Rig.
Sniper? Wait, what?
Yeah, and then my heavy is a
Oh.
sniper.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
And I use
why.
double pulse.
The War Rig makes that really
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Cold Heart is also an
Well, because
AR.
it's about because again, burst damage means nothing in raid encounters because the encounter lasts 15 minutes. But Actium War Rig, this is the exotic chess piece that automatically loads bullets into your magazine with auto rifles.
So if you have a 36 round clip, for example, you end up firing probably 70 or more rounds before you actually have to reload. And by that point, I'm jumping. So I jump in the air and I'm ready to go again.
that's
But
it's a
basically
whole
damage
it's a
phase.
monster sustain dips.
Yes.
That's really
Yeah. And that's
You're
why
getting
I
auto
roll that
reload.
way.
That's why.
I am. But I haven't tried it with Cold Heart. Maybe I could get better
Well,
DPS.
it's not an auto rifle, so
It is actually.
It is an auto.
It
Yeah.
falls in that category.
But you know,
It's not really.
but-
That's
yeah,
what
it's
category-
measured.
But what I meant
Yeah. I think
was
it'd be a
so
fusion.
Actium War Rig actually affects it.
I believe it would.
Whoa.
Should, yeah.
I haven't tried it yet.
Because I mean, it is a trace rifle. I get that, like when you infuse it, it's considered an auto rifle. But
Yeah. I'll have to try it out. Anyway, some other topics we want to talk about. Before we go there, we'll wrap on Nightfall. I don't like this particular strike. I love the new modifiers. I like that when I did hard mode with the rings, I had to actually plan out when we trigger the rings
Yeah.
so that we could all get it to get that 5
Yeah.
minute thing to get the Rat King. I love the new strike system, and I hope they don't change it because 1 week was bad.
Do you like Prism?
it's not even that bad.
Prism's
No, it's
fine,
really good.
and
You do?
when they added that it stays on the screen,
Oh, it does? I
They
haven't seen
added
it.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I
So
didn't
that was a
like. I
huge
heard
win.
that it was being added. That's all I want from
Yeah.
Prism.
Yeah.
Is tell me what it is. I'm like, did you guys see it? No, I didn't see it. Like, what a
It
waste.
stays there now.
That's
it
not
stays
fun.
there. Now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that was.
And these are just the first 3. I mean, who knows what else might come of the next few strikes on Nightfall.
I like it a lot.
Yep.
I want to talk about Lost Sectors and Adventures. I've brought this up a few times on the show. Lost Sectors, you need to give me something for doing all of them on a planet. I love looking for all the little logos.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're on your map, but it's great to find the logo and then go to that area.
It's good you can't mark them. They're a little bit more of a hidden gem in a way, like lightly.
Those are really fun, but you get like a token sometimes, maybe some blues, but you don't really get a high level reward.
You want it for just completing everything once or like in weekly resets or
So
something?
like every week, let's say you go through and you get a random legendary drop. I
For
think
doing all of them.
for doing all
on
of
one
them.
planet. Like, yeah.
Same thing with Adventures. It's just like it's a great story beat to be able to play that. The reward is the story, but the only item rewards you get are the token and some blues. I would just give me a random legendary. Give me some sort of incentivization to complete all those things every week.
Yeah, once you're 305, what is the reason to do it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, all your stuff. Through
Narrative.
305,
But yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I
All right,
agree.
everybody agrees.
Well, it was rhetorical, like meaning once, other
that's
than
true.
leveling gear to be 305, which you need all those drops to continue to keep happening. There's a lot of gear.
Yeah.
And that's one great, easy way to get infusion material. But other than that, like you're just,
Infusion
there's
material isn't the reward.
Yeah.
Well, but that is the only thing right now, and I agree. You probably could use something else, like those 4 adventures, like that does drop every
Like
week.
a planet-specific weapon that you would normally buy randomly from Failsafe or whoever. That would be kind of
yeah,
like
an
a piece
RNG
of gear.
chance. What if it's just
Yeah.
a cool RNG? Maybe it's even
So,
an awesome shader.
I guess you kind of get that. I don't know. I
mean-
just feel like they're a little waning.
I don't even think they. I
weak.
agree with you. I don't think that they have. I don't think that the rewards rewards have to be physical rewards like loot and stuff. Like my idea to improve lost sectors and adventures is to link them into the story. Because like the adventures and stuff, you get really kind of cool little story beats that help flesh out the narrative a little bit. What if when you completed all the lost sectors on a planet for that week, it unlocked a new quest on that map that was a little bit more like 2 or 3 steps that told the story.
Cool.
That way I'm like, oh, well, I want to know what the quest is because I want to know more about the story and the characters, so I got to go do all the lost sectors. That way you're getting the benefit of doing the lost sectors, killing the guys, getting the gear.
All the lost
but you're
sectors,
also
then you
getting
get one really hard lost sector or something, because they're pretty easy. Just run and kill them, and that's it.
How does that solve it, though? Because lost sectors were fun the first time you did it, meaning once you unlock this, aren't you up against the same problem?
No, but just like
there's a reward at the end of completing all of them.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you complete all of them, it unlocks a new quest that they could change from week to week.
Different one every week.
I'm talking about like a blue icon quest, like a proper quest.
Brand new quest and
maybe it drops like exotic
on 4 planets.
That's
great.
At least one.
They should add another 4th sub.
I'm just saying, like World of Warcraft did this. Like
sorry.
Questing, you want to encourage people to be in the open world. Like give them something interesting and meaningful to do on the week to
unlock ship combat at the end. Why didn't they do that? I don't understand.
This is a mechanic.
Ship combat doesn't exist in the game.
The quest line
Quests
is a system that they have in the game that seems like it would be fairly easy.
I know,
and it was underutilized. Like the Taken King had way more robust questing in the Taken King. And in Destiny 2, the quests are awesome, but there's only like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, I do like the quests. I just meant eventually you run into the problem where you've done all the quests. So like, what do you do to continue
new
to
quests?
Exactly,
They're not that hard. Like quests afford the dev team the opportunity to explore the narrative even more creative ways. Like I said, this about strikes. There should be a new strike.
They didn't think of it. That's all I'm saying.
There should be a new strike every month.
Yeah, but here's what I will say.
Cool.
Here's what they are doing good. Stop
Every
it.
day.
Stop it.
Sorry,
They're doing.
Stop
it.
They're
doing really
All
good
of my
though at
ideas are
making
good.
something new every week. And I think for the most part, like a new Nightfall modifier, a new this, a new that. They've done what they wanted to achieve. I think that they didn't do in Destiny 1. They're slowly rolling out all these new little things that are kind of neat.
I'm talking about new.
I agree.
content.
I get what you're
You
saying,
need more.
but-
I agree. Actually,
New
I think
content.
that maybe is a conversation for later. Like,
You're
is
right,
there
Fran.
enough?
Nothing's wrong with the game. It's perfect.
I didn't say
10 out of 10.
I didn't say that at all. I'm totally trolling you guys. But I agree it could use some more content, actually, and it is a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, like our big hope before Destiny 2 was that they onboarded these 2 new studios to help them, and the idea was that they'd be able to continuously pump out content, right? And we just haven't seen that exactly yet.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so the last little bit of the show, we wanted to give CJ a chance to talk about his raid experience.
Wait, sorry, just double check. Don't you need a single shot on that first?
Go back to the wide.
Yeah.
And
You were what? I didn't know if he was single.
We
on
were
the
in
end
the
or-
wide, right?
Yeah, so you need a single to get out of it.
We didn't talk about PvP or trials yet, real quick. Can we?
did talk about
did talk
PvP.
about
Well,
PvP.
really quick, you mentioned one thing that was an issue, but can we talk just about PvP and trials for 2 seconds, what it is this week, and then we'll move on to the right thing.
All right, so CJ, you wanted to talk about trials and how where'd survival go? What happened?
It's gone. I did hear Stev Ryu. He's one of these great guys who's been helping us out in the raids and a bunch of behind the scenes stuff at IGN. He's all right. Anyways, he was saying that it actually was supposed to be survival, and he launched into one
Bungie
today.
tweeted out.
Yeah, and it actually was not good. And there was some kind of glitch, I guess, where people were hiding or
You could literally just
could not
hide
kill
outside
people.
the map.
Yeah, that's no good. So we were wondering if these were going to be issues that would, creep to the surface with survival. And thinking about them, it could be a long game either way.
It is good.
Yeah, but if it's a long game because people are avoiding fighting each other, but they're staying together,
But that's
Fran
the
brought
new
up the
Destiny meta in a way right now. It's
Yeah.
long range. It's less, a little bit more defensive tactics. So
Fran,
those
what did
games are going to be long.
Bungie have
Yeah, I
to
was just
say?
going to explain what happened. So, when they launched it, they're like, Trials of the Nine is live, Altar of Flame, and it's survival. And then a couple hours after that, due to a bug where players can escape the environment on Altar of Flame, we've changed this week's Trials to Countdown to Eternity. So they rolled back to last week.
Yeah. So I wonder if you just jump outside the map and die and don't respawn.
It sounds like you jump outside the map
They
and the
hit.
whole go back
and
and
hide.
forward
'Cause
3 doesn't work.
No, it makes you respawn. You don't get the option of not respawning in survival. The timer just brings you back up.
That's
But
a
if-
bummer.
Yeah, but if you jump outside the map or just play very kind of, cheesy and defensively, you could literally probably have every single map being
That's what we were worried
game
about.
type
with
is
some of
super
these
long.
maps.
We didn't get to play it. I'm actually more concerned that we don't have this chance to test survival this week. It sets us back a week when you think
Does.
about it. Honestly, their whole schedule, I assume, was Countdown Survival,
Yeah.
maps, and now it all like.
They
No, it's gonna
potentially
be
had
countdown,
survival
countdown,
twice
countdown.
in a row, actually.
Oh, it was on that roadmap.
Yeah.
But we don't have feedback on is
No.
survival any good for trials?
Yeah,
People actually
feedback
had some
right now is
concerns.
no.
Yeah.
Well,
Potentially.
and not based on
It was
this
so
bug.
bad that they just pulled it. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens moving forward. Hopefully we get to try it next week without any bugs.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's actually a good match.
What if they launch Trials Classic?
Oh yeah, elimination. I already said this. Like it
Oh my
could maybe
God.
be in the future. We jokingly said like, where is it?
Fun.
And
We don't know what the roadmap is for next month yet. We know
don't.
Heroic Raid and Iron Banner is next month.
Yep.
But that's it.
This map for Trials, I will say though,
Prestige, sorry.
Countdown is definitely it's very Trials-esque, I will say, and I liked this new map. So, Fran, you and I were talking again. You know, Might of the Nine. It is basically the new meta right now. I will say, as a guy who's been a hand cannon fan all these years, I like Mida.
Gotta
It
talk
just
about this.
works
CJ.
real good.
Do we have a second?
Yeah, I know Fran wants to get into it.
Might
Let's
is
do
great.
it real quick.
Okay,
That's
here's
all Fran
my
wanted to
problem.
Do
say.
it. Fran wants to say it.
Little quick interjection. I love Mida.
I don't know why people are complaining. Everything's great.
and I'm not talking about overall PvP. Enjoy Mida. Get good, right? That's the result. Like, just Mida's out there. Use it. Everybody has access. What I didn't like about Trials, they launched the first week and now back second week, same thing. What makes Trials come back to it special, they changed everything. Aim down sights when your radar reappears. Everybody
Destiny
gets
2.
radar. It's easy to get Mida. So everybody is using radar in this mode. And so every loadout, I think primarily you get radar all the time. And then it's just an amazing scout for this long-laying map.
There are other scouts out there that are better weapons to use.
Totally. But my point was we
Not-
didn't
maybe
have
better
a
is
chance.
a strong word.
What bothers me is not Mida. But I hated that Third Eye became like everybody can have it, not just hunters or whatever. And I really just didn't like that we didn't get a chance to see what weapons could rise above and what players would do with them. Everybody just used Mida because why wouldn't
It's
you?
Mida
That's what
Uriels.
bothers
That's
me.
the loadout.
And that's fair. I think for the most part, for me, like I'm still upset that hand cannons are basically trash in PvP.
But what about that one you like?
I'm
Not really. Better Devils, old fashioned. There's the only two hand
Annual
cannons right now.
Skate is solid, and so is Judgment from
for
from
PvP.
Trials.
If you use basically what happened in PvP now is the mid-range game has disappeared.
ARs.
It's a long-range game. It's turned into ARs, scouts, and pulses. So everything is basically trash until you get super close, which is like submachine gun and sidearms.
Who's
like
using
Last
pulses
Hope.
out there? I see
use pulse all
some
the time.
nightshades, but that's
Yeah,
it.
but that's what I mean. But it's a distance game. So when
Yeah.
you're trying to like recover and go back and forth, Mida is awesome for the speed and all the things you're saying. But it's basically like that's the meta right now. So I'm not too upset because I trained my mind from Destiny 1, like, oh, you nerf fusions.
Yeah, Thorn, whatever, you know.
It's just how it's going to be. This is Mida right now. I'm sure something will
That's
come in the
overall.
next like 2 months.
My
That's what
commentary is
everyone.
not
Yeah,
Trials.
that new,
That's the joke
that
is
new
that-
scout from Dead Orbit.
Yeah.
Well, everyone's joking about how like inevitably in Mida is going to get nerfed like soon.
Yeah, or something will be buffed. I think they'll bring up a hand cannons, auto aim a little bit, or aim assist, as well as their range.
They're going to tweak all the numbers, and we're going
think
to
they
get a
will.
new meta.
So I had one small
Fran will
gameplay
whine again.
design request for Trials, which was you did locked loadouts, which is pretty cool.
Really
like
good.
that.
I
Like
love
pretty
that.
cool. But can you add in a modifier? Cannot be this weapon. That would be cool.
No
Oh,
way.
no.
Oh yeah.
People would hate
now.
that.
People
I'd
do
be
that
all
in
over it.
competitive, but again, I know what you're saying. You want to remove the exotic, or you want to remove
Yeah.
certain things
for
from it
certain
being
maps
cheap.
and things like keep people from
No.
overusing.
No.
Yeah,
Give them-
I don't.
Everyone
play
has
the-
to use sidearms for the whole game.
Not that
That's
stupid.
it.
option-
Sidearms
Yeah,
fusion. That's all you're allowed to
Anyways,
use.
hand cannons.
Destiny's like the whole fantasy
nice,
of Destiny is
but-
I can use whatever weapon I want.
I just hate that it's all Mida Third Eye. Everybody's got radar.
I mean,
in
so
there.
It's not,
I
though. It's
I
not. There
don't
are players
know,
not
but it
using Mida.
is
a lot of it's Mida,
Did
but
you
it's
see
a
the
range
stat?
game.
35% of all the kills in Trials were Mida.
Yeah.
See,
I wouldn't be surprised. if
Mid-
they
okay,
did more.
I,
but-
everybody's talking about that, but I think it's just the player base getting used to the new weapon set. And right now it's Mida because it's something we're familiar with that we use often. But I played
I think it's 'cause
PvP
it's
right
good.
before this show and was getting wrecked by Last Right, I think it was.
Hmm.
So there's other loadouts out there that can do well against
Across all of PvP for sure. Yeah, I just felt like with Trials in that map,
Yeah, that
Third Eye
map
in particular,
specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
range map.
that's why I think the perception on Mida is a little skewed just because that gun happens to be the perfect gun for that map.
Yeah.
Like I think on smaller maps it won't be as
Yeah.
effective.
And as a guy who's never played Scouts in Destiny 1 at all, I'm on a 15-0 run. I'm going to just keep using Mida right now in trials.
It is definitely a scout game.
It did get to the point where anytime I do like how they do like team intros at the beginning of every trials match.
Really good.
And it shows you the opponent's loadout. Another great thing, because before it was like you're jumping into the rosters,
they're faking
trying
people
to look
out,
at what,
changing weapons at the
switching
last
weapons
second.
and stuff. But now you can see, and anytime someone wasn't running Mida, we'd be like, what an
Sucker.
idiot.
Exactly.
That's funny. I did want to give you a chance, CJ. You also wanted to talk about your raid experience, and Fran did, because you guys weren't here last week.
A little bit.
So
Go ahead, Fran. I'll let you chat first.
No, I actually didn't have much to say, just to say my piece, because I didn't get the chance.
you didn't beat it the first day, right?
Oh, no, we beat it the first day.
Oh, okay.
Before you. So,
No, I was before you.
throat
The
clear.
fun thing is, we
I
both
heard
got
this
the
was a
same
fact,
bug.
by the way.
We got the same bug.
we both got the same bug. It was a problem. You can go back in the
was a
rewind.
clutch
We
throat
did. It was
clear.
super close. We were basically the same time zone, by the way.
I beat it, and then chat's like, Fran's still on it. Oh, wait, he just beat it too.
Okay, whatever the case. I knew this was
I
a
was
thing
before
that
Fran.
he thinks that he beat
I was
before
before
us.
Fran.
Hey, guys.
By the
I
way,
have
it
3
took-
hours ahead of each
Yeah,
of you
it
guys.
took us 11
Continue.
to 12 hours, so it just took a long time. But anyway, it's a really like expansive, beautiful raid. I really, you can just see how much effort went into it. The dogs were not great for us. I appreciate what they were trying to do. It was not a
Through that
favorite.
fairly quick.
Yeah,
Out
again,
of
it
all
wasn't-
the encounters, we figured out dogs pretty quick.
But that's the thing. A raid is very much like that. You either see the monitors or you don't, or you see how the dogs work, you don't. And just like it,
Is that a Wrath of the Machine reference?
yeah, it wasn't quite intuitive for us. But also, you have teams arguing with each other, and that happens.
I imagine you so focused on,
No,
like,
no.
we have to shoot the flower.
No,
It's
I
definitely the
No,
flower.
no, no, no.
That's the part that
Wasn't
took
that.
us
So-
the longest time.
Yeah.
Anyway, to finish though, I really like the raid a lot. I mean, when I went down to the engine room, I was like, holy cow, like so cool, all these hallways. And then I realized that there are exit doors.
Yeah.
So I really like the raid. I feel like there's a lot to do, a lot of meat. But it has some bugs and things to iron out for sure.
Yeah, the dogs are a little glitchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't know what to do with dogs either. So I did land. I found out from Steph. He gave me some info. 63rd, actually. So we beat it in about 7.5 hours. We even took a little bit of a break. It was a bit demoralizing. Somebody tweeted it out when we were at the last phase.
Oh, yeah.
World's first been achieved. We're like,
Yeah, probably Bungie.
yeah, well, no, but I can't remember. Somebody was saying like, oh, Bungie's tweeting it out, and we were looking at Twitter and all that stuff. But I had your guys' streams in the background just to see where you guys were.
Oh, he's cheating. I see.
No, because we were ahead of you guys every time up until about the dogs.
Dogs. We were actually there really fast.
You were there first, but then after that, once we got to the end, our team was really good. I called them the Type B team because there was no arguing. It was very just calm and methodical and precision-like. Obviously, I play with Stev all the time. It was Mountain, Arc, 3, and Lifted Headshot. So shout out to those guys. 63 is actually not too bad.
Top 100 is awesome.
Top
I
100.
played
That's what I
with
was
a
hoping for
totally
us.
random team that I never play with. So it was me, Dubfest, Silver
right.
Moose, Duggan. Oh my God, I don't remember that.
But it was, Dub,
Well, and then I
that's
jumped.
your problem.
I
Definitely
jumped in.
Dub.
Oh, Dub.
Yeah.
I jumped in at the very
It was
end.
Dubstash's roommate
Yeah, because I was like, I was about to go home and I was watching you guys. And like,
and Stan.
hey guys, we need a little help with the final boss. I'm like, dear God, I've been in this booth for like 7 hours.
Yeah.
But the
We
raid,
finished, like at the 12-hour mark.
yeah, the raid was really good. And I will say, Sean, you made a quote last FTC. You said, worse than Crota. Whoa.
What? The raid?
What are you talking about?
I don't like it
I
that
love.
much. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me.
No, hang on.
No, it's too late.
No, I just want to take back what I
me.
just said.
Okay.
I do like it, but I think it's not as good as the other raids.
Okay. I will say this. So
Misquoted.
worse than Crota is a pretty. You're basically ranking it last, and from that
You're
standpoint,
also saying Crota's bad.
yeah, and Crota was a good raid.
No, all the raids are good. This is just the least good.
Okay,
So
to
it's the
me,
worst.
I like the fact that this was so team oriented. It was, the fact that once you got into that last encounter and you figured out that there was something different on everybody's screen. To me, that's genius. The fact that actually happened. No, because
Genius.
it is. You have an instance of the same thing on everybody's screen, but there's a piece that's different.
No, I really
that's
like
never
that.
been done before, and something like that.
Never
I thought,
been done.
We were
Well, no,
arguing
not
for a
in
while
Destiny.
Destiny.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it was something that came out of the raid that I was not expecting. A lot of them are mechanics based and like,
It's
hey, what's
it's
happening?
a subtle, nice thing.
No, I agree.
It's
I
not
like
that
it.
it's
What?
that big of a
I
deal.
thought it was really neat.
I
No,
thought
no,
it was really
I'm
good.
on your side. I think it's really cool.
That's a-
Still
that the
too
encounter's
mechanics
different?
oriented.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Man. No.
I thought you were talking about the fact that it rotates.
No, the symbol on his head.
No, the symbol.
That everyone's
okay,
seeing
yeah.
a different
Raid
symbol.
spoiler.
Yeah.
Yes, I do like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the fact that it does rotate now into different orders, also a very neat mechanic of the raid. So as far as I'm concerned, I think Vault, number 1, because of the experience that you had. This raid, is second for me. Second or third next to King's Fall. Crota I like just because it's a special spot. Wrath I didn't get into very much because it was late in Destiny 1.
Where's this
Wrath is
Fireteam
good.
chat feature? Ranking the raid.
I have not played enough of Leviathan.
How many are there?
Not even
3,
close.
4?
Yeah. It's 5.
5, right?
5 total.
It's 5 total.
The top 5 raids in Destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just all the raids.
But I really did enjoy it. The fact that there was so much teamwork and the fact that there was a lot of communication. I mean, I think the comment that I've heard is this is kind of maybe a difficult raid for guided games. It's very heavily communication. But it was
if it's
good.
one person, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Once you get there and people level up,
Yeah.
it's fine.
But it was good.
That's
So,
I said it on last show.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
worse
All
than
right.
Crota.
That's everything I had to bring up today. Any final points before we head out, guys?
I still want Destiny. I still want Bungie to adjust PvP a lot. I think they need to iterate on it, and not just in terms of the disconnects and stuff, but man, there's no different. They call it the competitive playlist. There's nothing competitive about it. What is competitive about it? You can't see deaths, kills, KDA. There's
mode,
no,
I want a real competitive
like with rankings and stuff. Yeah.
leaderboards.
ranked.
Ranked MMR. That would be awesome for me.
I want more incentivization to just do the stuff that they have available, like strikes. Once you've done everything, it's well, why am I going back in there? You know,
Yeah.
I've done all that, and once you're in, I hit 305, and I'm well, I have all these tokens. I'm just not gonna use. Why?
Well, exactly.
What do I need? I feel like I have everything.
So the end game of Destiny hasn't really changed.
You have a collections page, but it doesn't tell you all the different collections, because there's a collection for all the world leaders, for Failsafe and
Oh, really?
and the guy on EDZ.
Live
And
Cave.
yeah, it would be great if I could actually see that somewhere and be oh, I still need that exotic. There's the thing to chase, you know. And how do I get it?
Yeah.
How do I get a shader that I want? You know,
Yeah.
just communicate a little bit more with the player base in the game. That's what I would like to see more of.
On a whole, though, really liking Destiny 2. I know what you're saying about PvP. It's a different game, but I think some of that is just adjusting to it. Again, this is from a guy who's got 10,000 fusion and hand cannon kills. I've never used a scout rifle, and it's this is the new Destiny 2.
You'll note that none of my Destiny 2 PvP complaints have anything to do with the gameplay. I think it plays so well.
Yeah.
It's just
have
as
to
someone
manage
as someone who loves great gameplay, I want to see how that gameplay is adjusting or over time. I want to see if I'm improving, if I played worse this week or worse this month, or if I'm better on this map or that map
in
or
the game.
What my kill to death ratio is with scout rifles versus with auto rifles. I want all of those stats. And guess what? Every other competitive first person shooter has that in the game. And Destiny does not.
What about you, Fran?
I actually I'm done commenting on the gameplay and stuff. I was going to say, I would love to see in the comments this week, because it's a question that's coming up a ton. What is the best sniper? What's the best sword?
Borealis.
Now, PvP, PvE. So without getting into it,
Borealis is really good.
What came up was I was kind of poking around and people were talking about this Achin LR2. It's got ambush
You have a
and
blue
snapshot. It's a blue sniper that's a meta thing.
Yeah.
But people were wait, what? It's actually quite good. But anyway, in the comments, if you have sort of a consensus on this is totally the best sword, let's get in the comments, talk about that. I'd love to see what people are using, and I think it'd just be really helpful for people.
Yeah, definitely. Get ready for a lot of Mida comments.
Pretty much.
All right, guys. Well, that's all we have time for this week. Thank you so much for watching. But until next time, Guardians out.